Marvel Comics in the 90s. How could we forget? Big hair, huge muscles, big boobs, and gigantic guns. The era where we had 30 Spider-Man and X-Men titles. Marvel had plenty of gimmicks, but man did I love it when I was a kid. Welcome to the marvelous 90s. Hey fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do Marvelous 90s, episode number 6. That's right, guys. And today, we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four, issue number 381. This book was made back in 1993. Now, this book piqued my interest because I never read a lot of Fantastic Four. So I was like, let me check out some Fantastic Four books back in the 90s. And so this cover just like piqued my curiosity because on the cover it says Fantastic Four. It has the big four, then it has a cross going across it, and it's got, you know, the title says Four No More. So if you take away 4 minus 1 equals 3, you get, you know, 3 people, and yeah, so that's what you have there. So this one piqued my curiosity. Now, if you guys have never seen this series before, this is the series where I relive the marvelous 90s, which is Marvel Comics, and just talk about them. Just pick a random issue and talk about it. Whether it's ones I've already read or not, I just want to talk about it and share the story with you guys. And maybe it'll pick up, you know, get you some interest and pick up some of these books. So let's talk about Fantastic Four, issue number 381. So first off, this book is done by Tom DeFalco, and it's also done by, check out the name here, Paul Ryan. So the artwork looks pretty good in this book. You got the Fantastic Four members, which is your staple characters, right? You have Reed Richards, you have Sue Storm, you have The Thing, and you have Johnny Storm. And in this book, in the 90s, they're a little bit different, okay? Well, except Johnny Storm. You can't really change a guy who lights on fire, right? So he looks the same. You got Reed, who looks the same, but except he wears this weird vest. I don't know why he wears the vest, but he wears the vest. And then you got Sue Storm, who also wears a vest, but she's like super hot now. She's got like these big boobs, and she's just like blonde bombshell. A lot different from the way she looked like in the 80s and 70s and stuff like that. Then you have like your extended cast who helps the Fantastic Four. You got this Skrull chick who I guess supposedly dated or married Johnny Storm at one point, which I have no idea what happened there. And then you got Franklin Richards, who's wearing this big armored suit that protects him, I guess, from psychic attacks and shit like that. So there is your cast of characters. So the artwork in this book is actually really good. I like the way it looks. It's nice, fancy looking artwork, good colors and stuff like that. What was this story about? So let's talk about this story. Fantastic Four in the 90s. No one reads Fantastic Four. They were never really popular, but they sold a shitload of books. They kept on pushing this book, and as time got more modern, I just feel like the Fantastic Four just dropped off. I would like to see a Fantastic Four book again. Maybe not as serious. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, our heroes are trying to find Ben Grimm because he's been lost in battle. He's doing battle against Dr. Doom, and they're doing this crazy-ass battle. And what happens is they're doing battle against like Doombots and other people, and so they're in Latveria, right? And so what happens is they wind up finding Ben Grimm. But at the same time, when they find Ben Grimm, they wind up finding this. They wind up finding Dr. Doom. And did I forget that the Thing wears like this helmet now? I have no idea why he wears this helmet, because I'm picking this up in the middle of a story arc or whatever it is. But he's wearing this big metal helmet, and it's just like I don't know what it is, but whatever. He's wearing this helmet. Dr. Doom shows up, and of course, Dr. Doom, wants to gather all the power in the world, obviously, to destroy the world or take over the world. But in the meantime, our heroes wind up finding out that there's this weird creature that came from some universe or wherever it is. And he's just this weird entity, and he takes shape and form of like a demon with like wings. He's, you know, he flies, he's like gold and everything else. And so what happens in this particular issue is we wind up seeing Dr. Doom. His plan is to siphon the energy from this creature so he can gain all the power in the world. So yes, he can take over the world. So that's his grand scheme of things. And so in this issue, you get to see a lot of fighting, a lot of battling. You get to see Franklin fail, and you wind up getting to see Sue Storm try to come up with a plan, and you wind up seeing the Thing come up with a plan. There's just a lot of fighting, a lot of battling. Some of the dialogue in this book was really pretty cool as it relates to things from back into the 90s, which I thought was pretty neat as well. You wind up seeing Dr. Doom come by the Fantastic Four's side, and they're not really sure why he's helping them, but they feel like maybe he's had a change of heart because he's protecting his land. And really the case is, of course, he wants all that power from himself. So you wind up seeing them all team up together, and you wind up seeing them actually, in the end, defeat this creature. But it was at a great sacrifice. So you wind up seeing that Dr. Doom's device to suck up all the energy was like a complete failure. It winds up blowing up all over the place, and it looks like that Dr. Doom is going to die, and he sits there, and he has Reed Richards, and he says, Reed, he's like, I want to make amends with you in my final breath. He's like, I want to change my ways. He's like, everything that I've done has been wrong. He's like, please, friend, hold my hand. And Reed sits there and says, you know what? I trust you. And he goes and he holds his hand. And as the demon disintegrated, Reed reaches out for Dr. Doom. And the next thing you wind up seeing is freaking Dr. Doom winds up being disintegrated along with Reed Richards. I mean, he shakes his hand and he's like, and he's like he's gone. And he's like, yes, my lifelong goal, even in my last moments, was destroying you. And so he destroys him. And the next thing you see is you see Ben, and you see Johnny, and you see Sue, and you see the Skrull chick, and they're like, well, Franklin, and they're like, oh my God, we didn't even have time to relax, or to react. It just happened so fast, and they're just a pile of ash. And so that's what happened. So Reed's a pile of ash. Dr. Doom is supposedly dead, and it just says to be continued. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, what the hell, dude? And so at the end of this issue, it has me reaching out for more. Like, I want to read more of this series. I want to see where Dr. Doom went. I want to see where Reed went. So overall, what did I think about this book? I thought it was a lot of fun. You know, it's typical 90s type of book. A lot of guns. You know, the girls look great. The men are just like getting ready for battle. And it's just a lot of fun. And it's just a little off-the-walls type of stuff that you're not used to. You know, like, I'm not used to Ben Grimm wearing that weird helmet and stuff like that. And, you know, and them wearing this weird vest. And Sue wearing what she was wearing, whatever she was wearing. And, but the story was a lot of fun. You know, crazy cosmic entity comes down to defeat the human race. And we wind up seeing our team of heroes come together, even Dr. Doom come together to stop this creature. But of course, Dr. Doom has a secret plan in place. And if he couldn't take over the world and gather the power, he came up with a contingency plan of defeating Reed Richards. And not only did he defeat him, it looked like he killed him. So it was a lot of fun. And now I want to see how the Fantastic Four move forward as the Fantastic Three, and see how they wind up getting Reed Richards back and how Dr. Doom comes back. So, a lot of fun. I'm going to continue reading this series and see where it goes. Don't be surprised if I bring you more of, you know, heads up on this particular story arc and share this with all of you. So, in the end, I think I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Maybe a little bit lengthy in the dialogue and unnecessary stuff, but good stuff here. A lot of fun. Good book for the 90s. So guys, in the comments below, tell me if you read the Fantastic Four 90s series and during the 90s or the series at all. And if there's any other books that you guys want me to review or talk about in the 90s, please leave them in the comments below. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Frontline. And until that next comic review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Watch Comic Frontline Live this Tuesday as we're going to talk about a whole bunch of San Diego Comic-Con news. So again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon. Bye.